Hello everybody, I'm Master Silver, and I did not take a break from the last video, which means my voice is still dying. Yay! Nevertheless, we are here continuing on with the 6th generation of characters from my drawings. I couldn't have done this intro any more weird. But as I teased at the end of the last video, to this video we are doing Hammer Bro characters. Because throughout the generations, I did some of the Hammer Bros. I did Hammer Bro, Sumo Bro, I did, is it the Sumo Bro? No, sorry. I did the Hammer Bro, I did the Sludge Bro, I did the Fire Bro, the Ice Bro, the Boomerang Bro, and the Army Hammer Bro. That was the most recent one I've done. But now I come back and I get to do these. So this wraps up, this generation's also gonna wrap up the Hammer Bros. And the reason I'm doing Hammer Bros, actually, I gotta put out there. Initially, I wouldn't have done Hammer Bros, but I think in one of the earlier videos I did of this, not of this generation specifically, one of the earlier generations, I showed you this mountain of paper that I had, which already had pencil sketches on them, but weren't colored in. Those were variations of characters I'd yet to do, and I actually still have like a mountain full of them. But those are paper characters I still yet to do. One of those was the redesign of Hammer Bro. Not the Hammer Bro in the Mario games got a redesign, but I even knew this when I was drawing them. I did Hammer Bro very, very badly, and I think everyone can agree. I did Hammer Bro really, really poorly. So what I did is I went back and I did a new Hammer Bro. And so I did everyone in that Hammer Bro list, thanks to the Mario Wiki, made it very easy. I did everyone, every variation, every subsidiary, every version of the Hammer Bro. And you're gonna see that. I don't know if these ones, if I did them in a specific order, like I don't know if I read from the top list and went my way down, or if I just did one that I thought was easiest and decided to do that one first. I don't know. But nevertheless, we start off with one of the tallest versions of Hammer Bro. Not the tallest, I think it comes in 3rd place. In terms of all the Hammer Bros that I did, this one, I think I actually might have used the help of a Sonic character, which means I went back all the way to the 3rd generation to get help for this one. This is the Chomp Bro. Obviously evident by the fact that he wields a chain chomp. He is in, I forget which game he's in. I don't remember that. And I didn't know much about this character. I didn't even know this character existed. But is it Bowser's Minions? It might be that. Sorry, I don't know why I have hiccups. It might be that game. Nevertheless, this is the redone version of the Chain Chomp, another character that I have to go back and do all the variations of, but hey, I've done a Chain Chomp in the past, it wasn't that good, so this also gave a chance to redo the Chain Chomp, so that's another character that you'll see me do in probably the 9th generation. But there's a cut right there, so he's got a cut right there, right where my finger is. And then his general body, it's very Sonic-esque, like one of those more bulky characters. You can definitely see I used inspiration from that. The chain, I don't know where the inspiration from that is. He's got a cut right there, so where his arm is, and he's got a cut right there for the top of his head. The green is the same green I used for Tolstar and all that. And also, something I should mention, if you look very closely, you see the design of the chains right where the cut is very screwed up. That's because the chain with the Chain Chomp was actually much longer at the time. I cut it down to save space and whatnot, even though I had already drawn it, which was a bit of a waste of resources, which I don't usually do, but I cut it down to be more efficient and to save space. So it was initially longer than this, but before taping it all together, I took it apart and I killed it. So that one morbid. But nevertheless, there we go. That is why the chain is a bit screwed up. Sorry, I was reading a notification. The sketch comedy faction is what our group name is called. We're in the middle of planning things, so it's a bit of a dick move on my part to be over here recording this video when I should be planning my sketch comedy with the group. But nevertheless, I am here. Goes to show you what I'll put to the side for you guys. Don't forget that. Next, we move on to another character that I didn't know existed, but I think it's from the same game. This is the Sumo Bro. No. Is it? Are you the Sumo? I think this is the Sumo Bro. I might be calling it the complete wrong name. I'm pretty sure this is the Sumo Bro. I don't know. Let me check. The Mario Wiki. Because I do have that capability. And I've done it before. Live on video. Very professional of me. No, I remember. This is the Limbo Bro. But not just any Limbo Bro. I found a picture when I was searching up this character to find like a good picture to base my drawing off of. And when I was looking this up, I found a picture of 3 Limbo Bro characters. All relatively the same size and whatnot, but different colors. Upon further inspection, actually much after, like I didn't know these characters were different versions of each other. I did not know that at first. So when I first drew this one, I just thought this was like a really old version of the character, or I thought it was just like one with, like, I thought this was the version of the character. This is not. This is the Elite Limbo Bro. This is what Elite Limbo Bros look like, which I did not know. So I'd have the regular Limbo Bro done next. But same thing like Macho Grubba and Grubba. I did the off-brand version of it before the regular version of it, which makes no sense. Nevertheless, this one is slightly taller, or the Limbo Bros are slightly taller than the Chomp Bro. Hence why Chomp Bro comes in second place. This one comes in second place. Chomp Bro comes in third place. Nevertheless, he's got a cut right there, right where his hand is, and he's got a cut right there, and he's got another cut actually going down right there. So this is a very big guy. Nevertheless, it took me a bit to do him. Same green used for Chomp Bro and all them. Same design for the helmet. And yeah, so I don't know, this character's very weird. If you're wondering why the fire is drawn a little bit weird, it's because I think I was either on the edge of the page or I was trying to avoid like a circle, like one of the holes in the lined paper. I'm not sure which it was, but nevertheless, here it is. So that is the Elite Limbo Bro. And now we finally take a break from the green. Never mind, this one still has green in it. This is the regular Limbo Bro. I did this one next, and the next one I actually debated doing, but this one I did for sure. As you can see, I've done the fire much better. That's one of the things I would have changed about the other one that I did much better with this one. The cut, I feel the tape, I don't know where the cut is. Oh, the cut is in the same spot, so it's still where his hand is. The cut, still the same right there, and still the same right there. Limbo Bro, there you go. That's who he is. You can't see on this side, so if I flip over this side, you can see the pencil marks from where his symbol initially was. So he does have a bit of planning to him. But nevertheless, he's drawn relatively the same. I modified his shell just a little bit, I think, to make him look a little bit more natural. Nevertheless, he's got orange. Same orange is used for Macho Grubba and someone else after that, I don't remember who. The browns are still relatively the same. I'm using blue now, which you've seen before. Green, same green as before. It's a lot of repeat colors, I'll admit that much. But nevertheless, here is the Elite Bro. Or that is the Limbo Bro, the regular version. And then we have this one. This one I actually debated as to whether I was going to do or not, and then I finally did it, obviously. But this is the updated model of the Limbo Bro. So this is the one I just showed you, but more modernized. This is Nintendo's redesign form, which is just a change in colors. So his cuts are in the same spot, except now his staff is gray with the fire being the same fire I did for that guy. Same like shades of orange and yellow used. It's now yellow, and the tier is still the same shade of orange. The helmets are still the same color. Greens are still the same. Now his little skirt thing is gray as well. Cuts are in the same spot, all that. Same height, they're all the same height. The only thing really different about them all aside from the color is the flames from the Elite Bro to this Bro, but yeah. So this is the modernized version of the guy I just showed you. So that finishes up the Limbo Bros, but those are also somehow variations of the Hammer Bro. Next on the list, actually, this is where it gets a little confusing. I have to show you the character I was gonna do. Okay, so before I show you this character, I have to do a little bit of background talking to understand why I took a break from Hammer Bros at this part. The next Hammer Bro variation I was supposed to do is called the Yo Bro. The Yo Bro being this lengthier version of Hammer Bro that uses yo-yos that have shells on them. And obviously I have a picture up while I'm talking about this, but I don't know if you guys see the resemblance, but at the time I was debating how I was going to do it, and I wasn't quite sure as to how I was going to do it. So what I ended up doing is I looked at the character and I realized it kind of looked like Kamik. So what I did is I went and did all the Kamik variations in the middle of doing the Hammer Bro variations. Because I figured that if I did all the Kamiks, one of them, I believe it was Camella. I'll show you her later, but I thought Camella, she was going to get, she looked very similar to Yo Bro, and so I wanted to do her, so I had something to go off of. So I had something to go off of when doing Yo Bro. Hence why I'm doing the Magikoopas next, because next we take a break from Hammer Bros, take a break from all that, and now we move on to Kamik. As you know, I've already done Kamik. It wasn't that good a drawing, but I did Kamik way back when, like one of the first or second generation. So this was a long time coming, but I finally redid him, and as you can see, I redid him well. Here is the new and improved Kamik. I think I did him very nice. It's definitely an upgrade from the one I did way back. No cuts on him, he fits on one page. It's much smaller, so here he is, using the same blue that you've seen before, same yellows you've seen before. He has a wand, same red you've seen before. All is the same, and you know, it's just Kamik. I redid Kamik, what can I say? He was in need of it. Most people from the first couple generations did. So, there's Kamik. Not much to say about him. He got a redo. Not a planned one, but he got a redo. And so I started doing all the Kamik variations. So next was the yellow Magikoopa. A Magikoopa I might have known existed, but I don't think I did. Same size and everything. No cuts on this guy, nothing. The only difference is that he's yellow now. I like the smoothness of the yellow. I like the lightness of the yellow. I do like this version of Kamik a lot just because of the yellow and how I drew him. But he's no different from the regular Kamik. And then we have the quickest version of Kamik, which is the white Kamik, which is another Kamik that exists. Whoop-de-doo. Okay. Sorry, that was a notification from Discord. But the white Kamik, same shade of yellow, same color of red, same color goggles and all that, except now he is white. And then we've got the red Magikoopa, and yes, there is a red Magikoopa. The red Magikoopa, same thing except red. This is gonna get very repetitive, which is why I'm gleaming over it, and I'm not excited to do the Toads or the Shy Guys, because they're the exact same way. Next, we got the purple Shy Guy, the purple Kamik, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's a purple Kamik. It's no different except now he's purple. And then we've got the green Kamik, and it's no different except for the fact that it's green. Also, yes, I'm aware that sometimes the goggles are blue, sometimes they're white. That was done intentionally based on the picture in the Mario Wiki. Not my fault. And now we finally get some separation, and this one was done in a very, I think I planned it out this way. That way they were done relatively similar to each other, because this guy's also green, and this guy is definitely from Mario & Luigi Partners in Time. Or no, this one's Bowser's Inside Story. but this is what you call a Magikoopa, which is Magifoofa, Magikoopa, which is a Kamik possessed by Fawful. It's Fawful, but it's Kamik, so he's got the swirls in his eyes, and this one I actually really like. It took a bit for me to get the smile right and all that, but you know, he's got the smile. Same shade of yellow for the mouth and everything, same shade of yellow for the wand, except now it's purple. Same shade of green as the green Kamik. And the goggles are the same shade of blue, but nevertheless, it is a version of Fawful. I was really happy to do that. I always love doing Fawful characters. Fawful characters are the best. And now we go into characters with very weird names for me. But I actually completely forgot that I knew they existed. I forgot they existed. And then, like, I was so happy when I got to do them. These are toadies. Originally from Mario and Luigi, Yoshi's Island, actually. It's from Yoshi's Island. These are the guys that, like, would take Baby Mario and all that. Especially these ones. And they're also in Super Mario Party, which I didn't even really realize until I went back and played after I drew these. Also, just to give you a timestamp, Resident Evil Village had just come out while I was drawing these. I was watching Omwrecker's live streams on Resident Evil while I was drawing these. It was a very new thing. So that gives you a bit of a timestamp as to when I was doing these. I don't like remember everything exactly. I just get feelings and little flashbacks. So that's how I know these things. If you're wondering like, wow, he retains all this knowledge just for this, I don't. It's just feelings and memories. But yeah, no, it was a toady. And then Toady had other colors too. So there's a purple Toady, which I did not know existed, but nevertheless, here's Toady. I've drawn him, there you go. No different from Toady, all the same colors or whatnot, except now he's purple instead of red. And then we got one more, we got the green Toady, because there's 3 different Toadies for some reason. And he's no different, except now he's green. Green, I tells ya. Ooh, and now we go back to regular Kamiks. This one is... yeah, this one is the Psycho Kamik. That's what it's called. It doesn't look psycho. It kind of gives me flashbacks doing White Mage, because it is kind of very similar to White Mage. I don't know why, but it's the Psycho Kamik. It's got red spike. It's regular Kamik, right? But just a little bit changed. It's got a star there. I might have actually traced the star from Toll Star. You can't confirm that one, so take it with a grain of salt. Nevertheless, it's the same Kamik, same size and everything, except he's now red and white. He's got a star. So, I do like that one though. I like that. And then we got Magikoopa Master. See, in one of the Paper Mario games, there is a trio of Magikoopas called the Magikoopa Masters. And the Magikoopa Masters is a red Magikoopa, a green Magikoopa, and I believe it's a white Magikoopa. I've already done the white. It looks the exact same as the white Magikoopa, which made me very, very lucky and very, very happy, because I didn't want to do more Magikoopas than I already was. They were getting very repetitive by this point. Nevertheless, the red Magikoopa Master did not look the same, so I had to go back and do that because I love you guys and I want to show you all the variations of the characters, and also I have, arguably, debatably, some OCD with this. Nevertheless, here is the Magikoopa Master Red. You might be asking yourself, Jay, what is different between this one and the red Magikoopa? I'll tell you what's different. Not only is his wand green instead of red, I know, big difference, but his cap thing is now red instead of white, which is the only difference, but I had to. I had to, because I'm doing every variation of every character. I had to. It's so... he's no different than all the other Kamiks, except now his colors are a bit more screwed up than their default pattern. There you go. That's Magikoopa Master Red. Magikoopa Master, the third one, the green one, he comes in a little bit. Now this part it's completely my fault. You can debate whether it's a waste of a spot or not, but it's regular Magikoopa riding on a broom. I was debating whether or not to do this or not because it's different, but it's also really cool and it's kind of the same, and you know, it was interesting to me, and I just realized I messed up on this one. But it's, I don't know, I liked the differentiation in this. And although I would go on to not enjoying this because of how much time it took and how, you know, annoying it was trying to shade in all the black to this, but it was fun. I like this one, and I know it's the same character that I've done before, but I just wanted to do it. So obviously the lengthiest of all the Kamiks we've seen so far. He's got a cut right there, and that's it. That's the only cut on him. But it's the same blue in all them. It's the same colors. Like, it's no different. But if you're wondering what I was talking about in terms of the mess up, you see this right here? This little chip towards the edge of the broom? I didn't do it on the other side. And that's probably because, like I said at the beginning of this generation, when I was doing lighter browns, I wouldn't outline it in brown, I'd outline it in gold. And gold, the Sharpie markers for gold and silver, they fade a lot quicker. What I've come to notice, they fade a lot quicker than the other Sharpies, so I end up throwing out a lot more of them. Whereas you take something like black and that one lasts forever. But I think this one is reaching its end, or it was getting close to it. So this didn't fade through, and therefore I just closed it up because I didn't realize that there was something there. And another mistake I made is actually right here. As you can see, I started out outlining in black without realizing that it was just a continuation of this and not its own separate thing. So it was actually supposed to be outlined in gold the whole time. I just accidentally outlined it in black, so that's why there's a screw up there. It's the same thing on both sides. There's no different there. Also, there's a cut right there. Right there. So there's actually 2 cuts on this character. Nevertheless, you go off to spawn 2 more. Because next we do the gray Magikoopa. And the only reason I did a gray Magikoopa riding on a broomstick was not because I was getting tired of drawing the other Kamik. And this one actually inspired me doing Kamik on the broom. This one inspired that one. But I traced that one to make this one. So it's a little weird. This generation's really weird. But this one, in the Mario Wiki, the gray Magikoopa was riding a broom, hence why I did it. So this one inspired that one. But cuts in the same areas, the mistakes fixed there, the mistake fixed right there, except now he's gray, which is the only difference. But there is a gray Magikoopa, I didn't know that one existed. Nevertheless, here he is. Same size and everything, not that different, but cool nonetheless. And here finally comes Magikoopa Master, the green one, because in the picture that I was shown of the Magikoopa Master, he was riding on a broom, hence why I had to do it anyways. Nevertheless, here is the Magikoopa Master green. He is no different, like I said, no different from the regular green Magikoopa, except now his green is darker, his cap is no longer white, and his wand is now blue instead of red. And that is all it is, but he's riding on a broom, so same cuts in the same areas, the only difference is he's a Magikoopa Master. There you go, that's it. That's all there is to him, that's all there is. All there is that's different. And now we go on to another redoing that was actually very much needed, and I planned to do the whole time, I just never ended up getting to and kind of forgot about along the way. But this one was much needed, a much needed redo, and luckily I got it while I was redoing Kamik. So I got to redo 2 characters in the same vein, I suppose, which was very useful. And that is Cami Koopa. I did her back in the first generation, same time I did Kamik. And this one didn't turn out as well, but luckily the times are changing. She turns out really well now. I think she's just a little bit, maybe a bit taller than Kamik, I'm not sure. She's got a cut right there, and there's a hole in her wand right there that ended up being filled up. So there's Cami, pretty cool. She gets to redo. Pink, we're seeing that. Same pink that I think I used for Total Star and all them. Purple, same purple you've seen me use all thing. Brown, I actually used the same brown that I used for the brooms, except now it's much more pressed in, much more prominent. Yeah. It's Cami Koopa, redone. And then, for shits and giggles and because I hate myself, I did Cami Koopa riding a broom. For no reason other than I've done Kamik, and I didn't want people calling me sexist, but that wasn't the actual reason. But now that I'm saying out loud, it makes sense. The initial reason was just because I did Kamik, and then I did Kamik riding a broom. That's just like, oh yeah, you know, I'll do Cami and then do Cami riding a broom. And so there Cami is. The same colors and all that, except now she's how she is. She's got a cut right there. And a cut right there. And a hole being filled in right there. It's pink and then blue. Two colors you've seen me use before. Very much of. The brown's still the same. Brown, that's the same brown I used for the beard of Brock. The broom color is still the same. The wand color is still the same. Everything is still the same, except now it's Cami riding on a fucking broom. Now we get to is it the final version? I think this is the final variation of Kamik. So finally we got to the whole reason I redid Kamik, which was to do her. One of the bosses, and honestly a character that if I remembered, I would have done much sooner. But she is from Super Mario Galaxy. Her name is Camilla. And she is this really big female Kamik that I ended up doing. And this is cut right there. And she's got a cut right there. And a cut right there. She uses two different colors of purple. Her face, actually, when I'm going to trace a character off of another character that they don't really share that much in terms of resemblance, all I do is take a focal point, and that's really with any character that I do. I take a focal point, and that kind of becomes my starting point for the whole character. So what I did is I took Camilla, I took Kamik, I traced his face because they have very similar faces. I traced his face. And that's how I started off Camilla. And so technically, I traced Kamik to make Camilla. So obviously, I added in like the lips and all that after, but that's Camilla for it. And then the hat's still the same. The hat was then modified, and I modified everything else along the way. I like the wand, but part of me would have changed it so that in the wand, this was shaded red. So it's kind of like Max. I don't know if I've done Max already. Have I done Max? I've shown you guys Max. My drawing of Max from Brawl Stars. And when you see her eyes, as I've shown you, like I outlined them in black. But then I colored them in the same color of like her goggles. That way it shows you that the eyes are behind the goggles. And I think that's a very neat feature. Personally, I wish I had done that here. So because now it kind of looks like there's a star on the outside of the wand. I wish I had colored the star in red, that way it looks like the star is inside the wand. And that's the only thing I changed. Otherwise, I like Camilla a lot. And that is my drawing of Camilla. And Camilla, I gotta be honest with you, she provided no help. No help whatsoever in doing Yo Bro. But we're back with the Hammer Brothers. This is the Yo Bro. She helped nothing at all with this character. She didn't help at all. She seemed similar to him, which is the whole reason why I did it. This guy is the whole reason I did the Kamiks, and they ended up being no help to me making this guy. So here's Yo Bro, the tallest of all the Hammer Bro variations. He's got a cut right there. It's got a cut right there, and he's got a cut right there. This is the Yo Bro. He's got like a ring on his shell for some reason, and then he's got like the shells on his yo-yos. So it's, you know, things I have to say in order for these to make sense. It's just how he is. It's literally just how he is. Same greens, same shades of purple, no mistakes whatsoever. It's really just the same thing. I mean, really what I did is I did one arm and then I traced that arm to make the other arm, but still, it's no different. No, sir. Oh, he's also got cuts on his legs right there. So, there is the yo bro. I don't know what to tell you. I do not know. But now we go on to other characters. And actually, these characters are very interesting. So I had no idea they existed, but I actually have a GIF of them on my computer. Like, saved on my computer. And that is the Border Bros, as these guys are called. And so, initially what they're doing right now, they're holding a rope on either side. Let me see if I can actually pull it up on my computer. Because initially what there's supposed to be two of them, and they're holding up a rope that blocks Mario. And I don't know what game they're from, but I did them twice. And as you're going to realize, this might be another waste of a spot. I know, I understand you, I hear you, I get it. This might be a waste of a spot, because the other bro is not that much different from that of the yo bro. So if I can find it, I'll show you the GIF. Here we are. This is the GIF I'm talking about. This is literally all they do. I don't even know what game this is. It's some form of Mario & Luigi game. But this is what they do. They hold a rope on either end. And they're border bros. They make a border. So this is the border bro. Obviously he'd be holding a rope with his bro. And he's just there, he's all happy. I don't know if I traced this guy, if I made him myself. I don't think I traced anybody to make him. I think I literally just made this guy myself. Little creepy, he's like staring right dead into your face. He's got a cut right there. The smallest cut in history. He's also got cuts right there on his feet. And then you're going to see the person. I traced this guy to make this guy. And there's only one discernible difference between these two. Literally only one difference. And that's the color of the flags. The color of the flags is the only difference. One's blue, one's red. This is what happens when you're indecisive. You can't decide to do one, you have to do both. Or you have to do neither. Because you can't do just one. I didn't know which one to pick, so I did both. I did both, and one doesn't have any more prevalence over the other. They're literally the exact same person. But one is blue, and one is red. That's it. That's the only difference. I'm telling you guys. I don't know what I was thinking. But next up, we have a character actually not traced off of the Hammer Bro or in any way. This is the Spike Koopa. Or I should say the Spiked Koopa. And actually, this one's traced off of my not yet done redoing of the Koopa Troopa. If you saw the previous generations, actually I can show you nowadays. I have a pile of papers of characters I've got to go back and do. And so, we've got the arm of the Fire Bro, we've got the head of the Fire Bro and the head of the Pokey, because I've got to do other variations of Pokey. We got another Sledge Bro. You can barely see that, but it's a Sledge Bro, because I've yet to do the Fire Bro. We've got the body of Pokey, right? So there's Pokey. We've got a drawing of Meta Knight. He'll be making a return as Galactonite, because I've yet to do that one. And so we just got other cuts from Meta Knight. And then this is where it starts to become the exact same, because we've got other version of the puppets that I have yet to do. We've got my redoing of Cheep that I have yet to do. We've got my Babam that I have yet to do. We have Shy Guy's model for whenever I go back and do the rest of the variations for Shy Guy. We have Toad's model whenever I go back and redo Toad's, or not redo, but finish all the variations of Toad. And then lastly but not least, we have the remodel of Koopa Troopa. Because that was one of the first characters I drew, and that character sucked when I drew him the first time. So whenever I choose to go back and redo those, which I will be doing eventually, I actually took that outline for Koopa Troopa and I made this guy, the Spiked Koopa. And I actually really like this guy. This guy is one of my favorites of this generation. I really like the differences in greens. I like the proportions on the body. I like how I did them all together. And so this guy is not traced off of a Hammer Bro. This guy is traced off of a Koopa Troopa, which is interesting. Nevertheless, he's got a cut right there. And no other cuts, but he's got Swamp Green. The Swamp Green returns from Smuggler Penny. He's got the light green that you've seen in like 90% of the people I've shown you so far. And then you've got the dark green that I used for the Magikoopa Master. And all those. He's got a little skull in the front, which is cool too. And I didn't know this guy existed. He's a relatively old and forgotten character in Nintendo, but there he is. In his full glory. He is actually very easy to confuse him, and I get him confused all the time. I don't even know if I might be confusing him right now. Because there's the Spiked Koopa, Spike with a D, Spiked Koopa, and then there is the Spike Koopa, without the D. So there is a Spiked, and then there is a Spike, and they're both called Koopa. There's a Spiked Koopa and a Spike Koopa. You'll see the Spike Koopa later on, but they look nothing alike, but their names are so damn similar. It's one letter off from being the exact same name. But nevertheless, this is one of my favorites. I really like them. Really cool. Yeah. And then we move on, finally, and this guy, I think I've shown you the outline of him before. We do the Hammer Bro remodel. There we go. I finally did this guy good. I finally did the Hammer Bro a service. It's about time. Here he is. He fits on one page. He's actually decently proportioned. He's much better in every way compared to my initial drawing of him. And it was much needed and long overdue. He finally gets his remodel. So there is the redone Hammer Bro. Same green you've seen me use 100 times. Same orange that I've used before. Actually, this guy is one of the few guys to break the rules, because I don't separate this by black, which you're gonna notice along with all the variations. I don't separate the cheek from the skin, or I don't know what else that's called, but I don't separate it from black. They stay orange and yellow connected, which is out of character for me, but I allowed it this one time. So there you go. The Hammer Bro redone. And that guy goes on to spawn all the other ones, because then we've got Hamma Jamma. Literally his name. I didn't name him that. It's Hammer, except without the ER, it's an A, so Hamma. And then Jammer, without the ER, so it's an A, so it's Hamma Jamma. That's this guy. He's got... I thought this guy, for the longest time, I've seen pictures of him before. I thought this guy was a fan-made, photoshopped, crappy version of Hammer Bro. He's not. He's a legitimate character, just with no continuation. He's got a blue helmet like the Boomerang Bro. He's got a green shell like the Hammer Bro, except now it's yellow. And he's got red shoes like the Fire Brother, which makes no sense. And his hammer is not even like stone or anything, it's wood. It's a mallet. It made no sense to me. And he's got the things on his hands like Bowser and all of them. So I thought this guy was just a fan of me. It shocked me when I saw this like in person on the Mario Wiki. And he was an actual character. I did not know that. He's just a very old version of Hammer Bro. He's also got a cut right there, a hole right there. And that's it. That's it. Honestly, this guy shocks me. I don't know. It's a bit weird. Also, he's separated by black, so I'm immediately already... I would have gone back and I would have changed how I did his eyes. Those are a little bit weird. The more and more I stare at them, the more and more I wish I did them differently. But the rest of them is pretty decent. So, there you go. Also, we're getting close to 40 minutes. I don't know when I'm going to stop. Actually, how close are we to... okay, we'll get to that and then we'll finish off there. Okay. Next up, this guy was traced off of that guy, Hamma Jamma. This is Bama. So it's Bammer without the ER. So it's just Bama. So it's Hamma Jamma, and then there's Bama. And this guy is the same thing, except he's a Boomerang Bro. He's a older Boomerang Bro, like a different style Boomerang Bro, except now he's gray instead of blue, and his shell is white like the other guy, and his shoes are red, but his boomerang is still the same. So there's that. He's got a cut right there, and he fills in a hole right there in his boomerang. And aside from that, he's the same height and everything. I fixed up his eye a little bit, so that's much more preferred. But yeah, this guy is traced off of the Hamma Jamma, and he's just that. He's a Hammer Bro. He's a Boomerang Bro. He's a Boomerang Bro named Bama. for whatever reason. And then there was their third counterpart, and this guy is traced off of them too. But this is a fire bro, and his name is Flare. So you got in this trio, for whatever reason, you got Hamma Jamma, Bama, and Flare. Because Flare, you know, you would have thought by this point they would have called him Flamma, but no, as in flammable. But no, they didn't choose Flam. They didn't choose Flamma. No, Nintendo had to make it confusing, going Hamma Jamma, Bama, and Flare. For whatever reason. This guy makes sense. He has orange shoes, and his colors are actually correct because he's got a red helmet and a red shell too. And he's my favorite of them all because he makes the most sense. But he's no different in size, shape, or anything. His eyes are relatively decent. Yeah, no, I thought those guys were fake, and I wouldn't have drawn them if the Mario Wiki didn't say that they were actual paper Mario characters. Next up, we've got a version of Hammer Bro from the Super Mario RPG, which is very, very old. And so it's a bit different, but this is the original Hammer Bro. This is what Hammer Bro looked like in that game, which you might be thinking, whoa, that's really weird. You don't think that's what's up? I know, because it makes sense. This is a very old Hammer Bro. So it makes sense, these things. So obviously the mallet is traced off of Hamma Jamma. His helmet's a bit weird. I try to make it look like, I try to make it look like his video game counterpart. But if there's one thing harder than converting a 3D model of a character to a 2D drawing style, it is taking an old model of a character. But that's not high definition. That is hard sometimes to discern what is what. And taking that into a Mario character. But I did it. And there's a hole right there. Not my best work, but takes two different colors of yellow. It's pretty interesting. I don't know. He's not my least favorite. Not my favorite, but not my least favorite. And that guy, I only did that Hammer Bro so I could do this one. So that guy was traced to make this guy, which is relatively the same, except he looks a lot more pissed off. And this guy is Dr. Topper, which is a special Hammer Bro. I forget what he does, but I know he's a special Hammer Bro. He might be a boss, I'm not sure, but he's an all-green version of a Hammer Bro, much bigger than the other Hammer Bros in the game, but he's the same size as the Hammer Bro that I drew. But he's all green now. So there you go. That's Dr. Topper. There you go. Not much else to say about him. Next up, we go into something that you see me jump to and from every now and then, which is Possessions by Mario. Luckily, I got to check another one off the list. I got to check off the Hammer Bro Possessed by Mario, and it's really cool. I think I've shown you one of these in an earlier generation. I'm not sure, but I think I have shown you them. You might be wondering, probably not, but you might be wondering, why per se did you make him yellow and lighter yellow instead of yellow and orange? It's because I was conflicted, because in the games, in the 3D games, if you look at Hammer Bro nowadays, he looks yellow and then a lighter yellow. But in the Paper Mario model of him, he is orange and then yellow. So, because this is from a 3D game, technically speaking, just to give a little nod to both kind of color variations of the Hammer Bro, I did this guy yellow and even more yellow. So, yeah, also, I messed up the color of the mustache. It's supposed to be a dark brown, but I made it black. My bad. I retconned that later, but my bad at the moment. Nevertheless, same colors of the Hammer Bro, traced off the default Hammer Bro. It's a Hammer Bro possessed by Mario. It's really cool. And then to end off this video, because the video's already going off longer than I wanted to, is the version of Hammer Bro that you typically possess to become him when you're Mario. So this is the Hammer Bro you can find in Mario Odyssey. It's a Chef Hammer Bro. So he's got a cut right there, and then he's got a cut on his frying pan. But other than that, the colors are still the same. Again, yellow and yellow. And he's a chef. He's a chef that chucks frying pans from Mario Odyssey. So I thought I'd give a little nod to that. And there you go. That is Hammer Bro. And that is going to wrap it up for this episode. Next episode, I'm hoping to get done the rest of this generation. And give my voice a break. Because if each video is 40 minutes, I've been recording and talking for 80 minutes about the same things, and then I'm going to be doing it for potentially another 40 minutes right there, and if I need to, even more time in a fourth episode. So I really can't wait to give my voice a break and get back to drawing and all doing all these things and helping my group out with sketch comedies that I probably should be working on right now anyways. And yeah. So thank you everyone so much for watching. I'm Master Silver. Like, comment, subscribe for more of this, more game vlogs, whatever else comes. I'll see you all very, very soon. Later, guys.